And the best thing about making this bourbon ball recipe is you can enjoy the leftover bourbon, or you know what? Just pour you some. I like it over ice. Oh yeah. Enjoy. What's up, fam? How you doing? Thank you for stopping by Mom, Dad, and the Girls YouTube channel. Today we are going to be making bourbon balls. Yes, you heard that correct. Bourbon balls. But before we get into that, make sure you like this video and share this video to anybody you think will enjoy it. Subscribe to our channel because it always helps. And hit the bell icon so you never miss when we upload a new video. So like I said, we're going to be making bourbon balls. And bourbon balls are very special to my heart because when I was a little girl, our next door neighbor, she was like a family friend. I used to call her Aunt Betty, but she was old enough to be my grandmother, but I was younger. I didn't know. But I went over her house one day and she was making rum balls. And it's the same recipe, just with bourbon, but they were so fun to make and they smelled delicious and they tasted even better. Today's bourbon balls I am going to be making for a friend of ours. And so what you're going to need is 8 ounces of vanilla wafers. Now, you can use any type of cookie. I'm choosing vanilla wafers. You can use the chocolate cream cookies. And for Christmas in July, I did a maple cream cookie in place of this, or you could do like a biscuit style cookie. So you'll just take 8 ounces, put it in your food processor, carefully. Try not to get it everywhere. And then you're going to process this to a fine consistency. You want to be able to mix it. You don't want big chunks in your balls when you go to roll them. I know it's a little loud, sorry. But you want to get it fine. Okay, and then once it's to the right consistency, you're going to go ahead and pour it into the bowl. All right, and then just like I said, pour it in a bowl. Give it a little shimmy shake. Well, once you have your cookie to the fine consistency, you're going to take 2 cups of pecans, put them in the food processor as well, and get them to a fine consistency. And here we go again. Sorry. It's loud. But you got to do it if you want something delicious. All right, that looks good. So then you're going to go ahead and take and dump them into the bowl with the cookie mixture. All right, just dump it in the bowl. Again, just a little shimmy shaking. Knock it all off, get it in there. And then once you have it all dumped in there, just go ahead and you're not going to need this anymore, so clean up as you go. Makes life easier. Okay, so once you have your cookie and your pecans in there, you're going to add your honey and you're going to add your vanilla, and you can't forget the bourbon. So what I do is I take a bowl, I put 1 tablespoon of honey in it. Yeah, the reason I do this, I'm gonna put the honey in here, I'm gonna put the vanilla in here, and then I'm gonna put the bourbon in here. And I'm going to whisk it so that way it all incorporates really well in with the bourbon and you don't have clumps of, like, I'm using vanilla paste, so you don't have clumps of vanilla paste or you don't have clumps of honey. Who would want to bite into a clump of honey like that? No. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm using vanilla paste, and you know what? That's not going to fit in there. Nope. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm using vanilla paste. It incorporates better. It's really good. You can use extract if you want. If you have powder, I wouldn't suggest using powder, as powder is usually only good for baked goods like cakes and cupcakes. Yeah, look at that. That looks so good. All right, just dump that bad boy in there like this. Get it all out. Make sure you have a whisk handy, a silicone spatula handy. You get all that delicious goodness in there because you don't want to short yourself on the bourbon balls. And now, the bourbon. Like I said, we're doing this for a friend, so he supplied his own bourbon. He actually gave us Knob Creek smoked maple. About a 1/4 cup of this right in here. Oh yeah. Oh, that smells wonderful. Okay, so just measure out about 1/4 cup. You can do a little heavy-handed if you like the bourbon, but it will stand out. So if you like the bourbon taste, but you don't want it too like strong, just add 1/4 cup, add maybe a little bit less if you want. Go ahead and whisk it. Like I said, you want to incorporate everything. So I'm just going to keep whisking until I feel that the honey is gone and I do not see the vanilla anymore. So just whisk it like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pour this right into our cookie and pecan mixture that we just did in the food processor. Again, and since I've been using this rubber spatula, I'm just going to mix it with it because it's got this delicious stuff all over it. So just mix it the best you can with your rubber spatula. It will seem like it's, well, that's a little dry, add more bourbon. No, it will come together. Don't worry. So it's just like, you know, you making a good biscuit recipe. You know, it looks dry at first, but as you get in there, it's delicious and comes together. So do it the best you can. Scrape everything off. Take your rings off. And then get in there with your hands and just go around and squeeze it, because you want to get all that liquid incorporated into all of this. So just go around and squeeze it until you get some nice balls formed. See how it's starting to come together like that? And then what you're going to do after this is you're going to take and you're going to roll them. I usually just eyeball it. You can use one of those little ice cream scoops. If you have a small one, you can use a tablespoon, measuring spoon if you have. You just eyeball it. So we're going to take and we're going to roll them. Oh, I need to get a container to put them in. But just roll them, squeeze them around, roll them the best you can to form a ball like this. Now, you can leave it like this if you want. When I was a little girl and I was over my Aunt Betty's house and we made them, we rolled them in some granulated sugar. You can do that. I've heard people roll them in cocoa powder, powdered sugar. Powdered sugar is good. We've done it last Christmas when I made these. We rolled them in powdered sugar and it's really good. What I would suggest is when you make them, you can roll them in the powdered sugar, then place them in a container and stick them in the refrigerator. Now the powdered sugar, being powdered sugar, it will absorb into the ball. So if there's not enough on it when you take it out to eat it, just roll it in a little bit more. Or you can leave it like this, stick it in the refrigerator and roll it as you eat it. But we're gonna do these balls and I'm gonna get a container and you're gonna watch me in time lapse. Wow, that seemed to take forever. I wanted to mention beforehand, but it totally slipped my mind. After you have everything in here, make you a ball, try it. I know this recipe and I know how the ingredients are and how strong or whatever. So this is a tried and true recipe. This one's good. But for your tasting, make a ball, try it. If you need to add more bourbon, you want it stronger, add a little bit more bourbon. If you need to add more sweetener, add more sweetener. You could do honey, you could do maple syrup. But this one is good the way it is. So now that they're all rolled, just put them into a glass container or anything that you have, and then just stick them in the refrigerator for a while. Actually, just stick them in the refrigerator, store them in there. I wouldn't leave them on the countertop. And then just take out however many you want, roll them in whatever you want, and enjoy. Yeah, so made these for a friend. Very dear to my heart, this recipe. So at the end of our videos, we always say, peace.
Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that by clicking the circle logo right here on your screen. Also, if you haven't seen our newest vlog, it's waiting on you right there. If you've already watched that one, we picked a video out just for you. Again, as always, we appreciate you watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. At the end of our videos, we always say,
peace!